Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Hoboken Public Library's YouTube page. My name is Sherissa. In today's video, I'm going to take you along, show you some last minute tips and tricks on gift wrapping. If you're not subscribed to the Hoboken Public Library's YouTube channel, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified every time a new program is uploaded to the Hoboken Public Library's YouTube channel. So without further ado, let's get started. First things first, let's gather our supplies. So you won't need anything except tape, wrapping paper, and a pair of scissors. If you do want to get a little extra special, I will be using some extra materials. Feel free to let this video inspire you. You can use twine, yarn, name tags, as well as tinsel, maybe some faux greenery or some real ones, and some ribbon. Now, first things first, I'm gonna gather some awkwardly shaped gifts, and I'm gonna show you different tips and tricks on how to wrap each and every one of them. I will also show you how to wrap a simple, basically shaped gift and make it look special without using extravagant supplies. Our first oddly shaped supply is going to be this ukulele. Our second oddly shaped gift that I'm going to show you how to wrap in a different way is this jewelry stand. A simple shaped gift I'm going to show you how to wrap, but make it look Pinterest worthy, is this dog pop. It's a simple square shape, should be fairly easy to wrap. I will show you two ways to wrap a simple shape. And our lastly weirdly shaped gift I'm going to show you how to wrap is this alien plush. You have saved our lives. We are eternally grateful. Is the ukulele. So I'm going to gather my supplies. I'm going to need a pair of scissors, tape. I use both double-sided tape as well as regular Scotch tape. So I'll be using that. And last but not least, wrapping paper. So the first tip I'm going to share with you is how to make a bag out of wrapping paper to fit this. So we're going to use the snowflakes for this end because I have an extra special idea for the candy cane. So let's put the gift aside. And what we're gonna do is that we're just gonna roll out a significant amount of paper. Now, the best thing about this is that when you're using this tip, you can actually shape the bag to fit the specific requirements and size that you need for your gift. So I need it to be about, this is perfect actually. And I actually do not need it to be that thick, so when I fold it, it will fit the ukulele perfectly. So let's just show you guys this really quick. I will cut it around this seam. Also, if I'm going too fast, remember that you can always stop the video, pause, rewind to try and follow something that you might have missed. Whoops. And that's okay, because we can just cut off the end. We all make mistakes. So I'm going to put the ukulele to the side here. And what I'm going to do
and this would be easier if this wasn't curling, is I am going to fold this half in, and then I'm going to score it, which is basically just folding it. And I'm also going to fold this half over this one, but only so that it's just meeting over. And then I'm going to score this side as well. Now I like to use double-sided tape just as a pretty measure, really. It's just a way to make it look more clean. And I already messed up, but it's okay, I'm just gonna rescore it. You can use regular tape and turn it and fold it, is what I mean, not turn it. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna double side tape this end here. Okay, beautiful. Now, I'm just gonna finish scoring it, because as you taped it down, you might have scored it wrong. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take regular sided tape, and you're actually going to tape down this whole thing. So this is not entirely necessary, but in the end you'll see why this makes this process look cleaner and as if you bought this bag at a store. So essentially we're not making a gift bag, we're making a bag slash pouch, and you'll see what I mean later. So just go ahead and tape it all the way down if you can. If you feel it's a waste of tape and you've used double-sided tape already on the ends, then you don't have to do this process. I'm doing this process because my niece is very active, to say the least. And if I don't secure this, the bag will rip before she gets a chance to actually open it. So we're just gonna tape this down as a safety measure. There you go, I'm almost done. Remember, if I'm going too fast, stop me, pause me, rewind me, go at a pace that works for you. Of course, if you're doing this last minute, I would assume you're going fast, so. Okay, and one last piece at the end. Okay, now you should have basically a tube of paper. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to place the ukulele down and then fold it up to where you want the ukulele. Give enough room at the top so that you can fold this down, but you want to place this so that you know exactly where you want to fold this up. Just to eye measure it out. So you're going to fold this upwards. You're going to score it again. And then you're going to fold it down. So you're going to take each corner and fold it downwards so that it kind of makes a triangle shape. Make sure that the lines match up. Score again. Do the same thing on the opposite side. Make sure that the lines add up. Score. And then you're going to take one pointy end and meet where the lines meet. And then with the other one, you're actually going to overlap the first pointy end that you had about 1 centimeter. And then you're going to score that top. And then what you're going to do is you're going to tape this down. Regular tape, you don't have to use double-sided. Now what I like to do is tape down each corner basically. But again, safety precaution, you don't need to do that, but you can if you want to follow me along. And one last corner. Okay. All right, so now you have a bag. Now this is very big. I hope you guys can actually see this. Very big, but it's slim. Essentially, it's very slim because a ukulele is gonna fit right in here. It's a perfect fit. Do you see that, guys? For stability purposes, you can use a cardboard, and I will show you later on how I use a cardboard with the same technique, but a bigger bag. You can actually shape this to be many different sizes and widths and heights. But because it's just a ukulele and I'm just gonna put it right under the tree, we're gonna slide this right in there to meet the bottom. Pick this up, and now, I don't know if you can tell, but right now my ukulele is right here. So what I'm going to do, and because I want it to be on the pretty side, we're gonna flip this. So what you're actually going to do is you're gonna find where the ukulele is, because you want to make sure you're not folding it up to there. What you're gonna do is that you're gonna fold to meet the middle of the score. Fold the opposite side as well. So you're gonna make 2 triangles essentially, meeting in the center. And then you're gonna fold it down and tape it. One thing to note is that depending on who you're wrapping your gift for is how you should actually secure it. So a child would actually need a little bit more easy access to open a gift. So I am leaving the corners open, but if this was for an adult, you can just do one, or you can do it all, because an adult will know how to open a present, know how to find all those nooks and crannies. So essentially this is how it is. It stands up.
Here's where I show you a different way to do what you just saw in the previous clip. Now I am using a different form of wrapping paper here, kiwis, which is very fun because this is essentially a gift for a child. So I like to keep the wrapping paper fun as well. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do the same steps as we did in the previous clips, which is just fold it in half, score it, tape it, all of that. So just follow along with me. Now after we're done putting in our last tape so that it's all pieced together, we're gonna go ahead and fold it upwards. Now I already measured what I want, the space that I needed for this. So we're just gonna do that, and I might have overshot it a little bit because as you see here, when I fold it, there's not gonna be enough space. And so what I do is that I just trim it a little bit, and then it allows me to fold it properly. So because what I have is a little bit heavy, I'm actually going to show you how to do the cardboard trick just for extra stability. So it really has to shape the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to place the bag right on top of a spare cardboard. I'm pretty sure all of you have something if you've ordered online. And we're just going to trace the bottom, and then we're going to cut it out, and then we're going to feed it to the bottom through the top. So you'll see that later. So the cardboard is a perfect fit, and now that that's in there, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my little gift, a nice little Snoopy. We're gonna fit him in there, and the cardboard is gonna act for extra stability. This won't wobble or tilt, and it'll allow me to actually close the top. So we're going to go ahead and do the same technique as before, and we're going to fold the side pieces inwards to form a triangle. But what I'm going to do different here is that after we fold everything in, I'm actually going to staple it, which you'll see later. So if you have a staple on hand, now is a great time to use it. If you don't, you could just tape the bag closed. And then I will be adding a little extra little frill at the end, and you'll see what I'm going to do. Now that that's closed, I want to make this a little extra special. So I'm going to grabbing my hole puncher. I'm going to hole punch each side, and I'm going to take some ribbon, feed it through each hole punch, and then knot it at the back so that it stops. It locks, it's knotted, it won't come through the hole, and you will be able to pick up your bag. And there you have it. It's just a nice extra take on a different trick for wrapping those tricky gifts. Next, I'm going to show you how to wrap this jewelry stand. So, a really cool, creative way to wrap something as oddly as this could have been the way I did the bag before. Just stuff it with some tissue paper so that all these sharp edges don't poke through. Or another cool way is to wrap it in a gift itself. So I'm actually going to be using my scarf. Let's just match out these ends. So I have a blanket scarf. A scarf is always a great gift. A scarf is always a great gift during the holidays, especially when it gets really cold. So you will not need any tape, you will not need any scissors. All you need is the scarf and the gift. So you're actually going to lay the gift down flat, and this pertains to any gift. You can do this with any gift that you have. I'm actually going to move this table a little out because this is a really big scarf. And you can actually do this with pashmina scarves. That would actually be really great, but we're gonna do it this way. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take one end of the scarf and then the other end of the scarf, and you're going to tie it, right? You're gonna tie it together. Try and tie it as neatly as you possibly can, making sure to use any extra fabric that you have to just cover all of those sharp edges. And then you're gonna take the other end and the last end, and you're gonna tie that as well together. And the fringe actually adds a little bit of texture, which is really cool. This looks like a saucer, and that's because this is an odd shape. Tie it really tight because it's not going anywhere, it's not breaking through. Then what I like to do is I like to take the end and tuck it. Take the other end where the tag is and
tuck it on the opposite side, and you get a nice little fringe effect. Let's just turn it around so I can have better reach with this. And there you go. I know this looks odd, but if you were to put this on the tree, just like that, it would actually look really cool. You can actually stand this because it is a jewelry stand. To add a little bit of interest and texture if you want, you can take a little bit of faux or dried out greenery. Try to find where your fingers meet, found it, and just pull it through. It's a little difficult because this is a very, very chunky scarf. There we go. Make sure you can actually do this prior to tucking it, which probably would have been smarter for me. And then you just cut off these ends. And this is just a little extra zhuzh. It's not necessary. Cut off those ends, and there you have it. You have a nice wrapped gift that comes with the gift itself. I'm going to show you how to wrap this very simple shaped box in 2 ways. I'm going to show you 2 ways how to wrap this up. Because it's such a basic shape, and I am going to use just regular craft paper. And you don't need a lot of it because this is such a basic shape. So actually, let's see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down the middle, and I want to make sure that all my sides are covered. So what you do is that you cover one full side, and then you extend it a little bit, and then that's where you cut just a couple, about 3.5 inches. We're just gonna slice right down the line. Okay. And because I don't need this much paper, and I'm going to show you 2 ways on how to wrap this, I'm going to cut this in half. Save that for later. So I always like to wrap my gifts face down first, just because when you tape it, it won't damage the paper. And when I say paper, I mean gift. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna wrap this as you would wrap. If you have gone to school and they have made you wrap your textbooks in paper like this, then this technique is something that you are all familiar with. And then we're just gonna tape that down as well. So this technique is fairly simple. What you're basically going to do is you're just going to fold this in, right? You're gonna fold it in, and you're gonna try and fold it all the way down the corner, the line edge here, and then you're gonna score it so that it makes a triangle. So let's do that together. We're gonna fold it in all the way to the bottom, and then you're gonna score it. And you're gonna do the same thing with this. And then you're gonna fold this, and the opposite side can get tricky, especially if there's excess paper like I do. But you just gotta maneuver your way, make sure everything lines up. And then you're gonna score it. And that's it. Now, whenever there's excess, I like to actually just fold it in to make it look very, very pretty. And we're just gonna fold that down and then fold this over it. And right now it looks like that. And oh, I forgot a little bit of excess there, so I'm gonna fold that in. All right, just gonna fold that right on in. So that it looks very, very clean. And then we're just gonna, wrong tape. We're gonna take some regular tape, and just one, you just need one for now. Just tape that corner down because you have to do it again to the opposite side. So same step, just repeated. If I'm going too fast, pause the video. You can actually slow down the speed of a video if you need to rewatch certain parts over. I don't like that, so I'm gonna fold that in along with this, actually. Put that down. And the cool part is that when you've already done the bottom layer, you can actually put that up. And I already know that this is gonna give me problems, so I'm gonna fold it in. And then you're gonna fold it down. Look at that, clean cut. All you need is one. And basic, very clean. Anybody can open this. The problem most people make, and when I say most people, I mean me, I like to tape everything down, and then people can't open their gifts, and that's no fun. So that is one way to wrap this. And you can also make it very pretty. By just adding extra stuff such as this. So what I did here is I took some tinsel, some extra tinsel from the tree. I also took some yarn and I went around it once with the tinsel and a couple times with the yarn as well, because you can't really see it. I used some twine. This is fake pine, the little bunny tails that we used prior. This is just a tag with initials. I used stamps for this, but you can always just write it if you have nice handwriting. And then I will actually show you guys how to make these tassels. So this is just tassels out of yarn. So this was a thin one, I didn't like the way it turned out. And this one is a fat one from yarn. So I will show you how to make that in a bit. But you can always just zhuzh this up by going around it a couple times, adding some florals, some tinsel, just a little bit of extra stuff. And it looks like you bought this at a store. Got it professionally wrapped. So I'm gonna show you the second way really quick on how to wrap this a second time. And then I will show you how to make the tassels. So in order for me to show you this, I'm actually gonna have to rip this open. So happy early holidays for me. Okay, toss that to the side. Now the second way to wrap this, and this method works best when you think you've run out of paper. So in order for me to show you this properly, I need to take out some paper. And I know you're panicking, but don't worry. So sometimes we think we've got it, and I know this is not a perfect square, but that's okay. Sometimes we've cut the paper, we've eyed it out, we're thinking this is all I need, and then you go to close it and you're missing it by that much. And instead of cutting a sliver and taping it over because that looks wrong, what you actually need to do is you need to turn it. And you actually fold it this way. So you're gonna fold one corner in, another corner in, right? You're just gonna tape this down. Again, all you need is one tape. very sleek. And then this is the cool part. So what you're going to do here is you can do the basic technique of folding it in the way I showed you before, but what you're actually going to do is you're going to take this, you're going to lift it as you're pushing in. You're going to lift as you're pushing in. Let's focus on one side first. Lift as you're pushing in. Lift, lift, push in, push in, push in. And you're going to do that until it's perfectly lined up here with the corner. Push in, push in, push in. And then you're going to score it. And then you're going to do the same thing to the opposite side. It's already scored, so don't worry about it. You're going to lift, push in, push in, push in, push in. And then you're going to score it. And then, oh, this one got away from me. Let's do that again. Always adjust, because sometimes things aren't properly lined up. And then you're just going to do it that way. So I actually could have done a little better job, so it's okay. We're all learning here. Let's open that up. I'm going to try and actually push this in a tad more, right? Put that down, push this in a tad more. Just a tad, and then I'm going to score it that way. Okay, same thing with this. Push in, push in, push in. I'll just put this down just for now. There we go. Just maneuver it. Maneuver it. And there you go. It's a snug fit. Everything is smooth on the edges. Once you get the hang of it, it's a super easy process. And I grabbed the wrong tape, double-sided, but that's all right. We're just gonna make that work for now. There we go. Same thing on this side. So we'll start with the smaller side first. Actually, start with the bigger side. Scored nice all the way to the top. Do the same thing here. Scored all the way nice to the top. And it's a perfect wrap. Look at that, guys. And you're just gonna tape it along the edge. And there you have it. And then you have either end to actually open this gift from. You didn't waste paper, you didn't throw this paper out. It was a good use, very eco-friendly, and then you can just decorate it.
Here is another example of wrapping something that is a basic shape. Now, if you're not too fond of the craft paper and you just want to just wrap it and be done with, then we have some nice fancy wrapping paper, and it's basic steps all over again. So I'm just trying to map it out, and then we're just gonna wrap it up just like I did in the previous. So I messed up a little bit, and this part of the wrapping paper is damaged, and I don't want that to show. So I'm just gonna cut this off really quick, just a sliver. And another tip that I would like to share with you is just precision, just cleanliness. So you can actually fold over the edges of your wrapping paper so that it's edge to edge finish. And you see that it was like a nice fold over. And just so you can have it nice and secured, I like to use double-sided tape. Place it on the wrapping paper, not on the gift, and then basically just fold over the other side of the wrapping paper and have it meet the double-sided tape so that it sticks while you are basically folding over the other raw edge of the wrapping paper to make it more clean and crisp as well. And that's how we finished wrapping another basic shape. Now if you want to spice it up a little bit, you can go ahead and grab some ribbon. I have red and white ribbon here, but I'm going to use the red one. And if you just tie it around a couple times and then make a nice bow, it kind of makes it feel a little extra special. I also think it's really nice if you curl the ribbon. So this technique is basically you just place the ribbon at the edge of the blade of the scissors. You hold the ribbon down on the scissors without touching the blade itself, and then you just pull up. It's safe, it's easy, and it gives it a little flair. Something I also like to do is if I've wrapped the ribbon around multiple times, I like to separate it. I don't know why, but it seems a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. It makes it look a little bit more purposeful. And then when you look at it from far, it looks pretty, really put together. And if that's not enough for you, one last thing I like to add just to make the present feel so much more personal and extra special is some fake florals or some real ones. Just add some greenery. So what I have here is I have some fake baby's breath, and I'm just gonna cut it with my scissors, cut a couple stems off, and then I'm just gonna slide it right into the ribbon, and it finishes off this gift. I'm going to show you again how to wrap another basic shape, which is more rectangular, which is kind of like the last one, but this one is going to be a different take. So I love getting books for Christmas, and books can sometimes be a little bit tricky to wrap because they do have this dent in the middle because that's where the pages are. And whether it's hardcover, soft cover. So I actually like the basic, very organic look to wrapping. So this is actually just, I guess, faux tree trunk wrapping paper, but I'm actually going to be using the craft side, so that's why you see me having it upside down. So what I'm doing is that I'm basically just eyeing out how much space, how much wrapping paper I need, and I'm cutting it. And here you see me doing the same crisp clean edge technique as I did before. I'm going to do it to the opposite end as well. Now here is when I am trying to show you a different technique. So we will be repeating the same scoring triangular step as we have the previous couple times that I've shown you, but instead of folding it into a triangle, we're actually going to double fold it so that it meets the edge in a clean way. So I'm folding it over so that I can score that where I want it to meet the edge. And then I'm basically just folding it so that it's edge to edge smoothness. And I'm just gonna tape that right there, and we're gonna do that to the opposite end. And that way each side of the book, of the gift that's been wrapped, is just clean, straight, empty. And since this is empty, I'm going to show you how to zhuzh it up a bit. That's my new favorite word now. And I'm gonna take this name tag here and I'm going to actually grab my letter stickers. And this isn't going to anyone in particular. So I'm just gonna put basically for you. So I'm gonna find all the letters, and I'm also grabbing twine here because I have to wrap it with something. So as I open the twine, if you have any of these supplies, now's the time to go get them. Now I took a substantial amount of twine because I'm gonna wrap it around several times to just give it a nice rustic feel. So I'm leaving a little bit like hanging off the edge there just so I have somewhere to tie it. And I also, remember we have to tie the tag to the ties. So you'll see me do it. So essentially I am just going to tie a knot first in the twine, and then I'm going to insert the tag into the twine and then tie a bow. And of course, we made this natural for a reason, so let's add a little bit more greenery in here. We got our faux flowers, and we're just gonna cut some stems and place it under the twine. And if you need to, you might have to tape it down just so it stays put. I found that I had to tape mine down. Maybe you won't have to do with yours, but it's just a tip. And there you have it, another basic gift wrapping, which looks really pretty, might I say so.
Now lastly, and this is actually the fun part, I have been looking forward to wrapping this gift. So remember what I said about this end? So if you have funky wrapping paper, now's the time to use it. I'm gonna put this towards the end. Oh no, I hope I have enough. Oh, I definitely have enough. Perfect, okay. Okay, so we are going to wrap this guy. And this would actually work if he was smaller, but this works well too. So what we're gonna do is we're just going to wrap him up. I know this looks silly, but I promise you this has a point. I will show you how this looks better with a smaller gift later on. Okay, so we're gonna wrap him up. We're going to use some, whoa, so sorry, double-sided tape first, just to secure it so it doesn't curl as we roll it on. All right, it's secured. Now we can use the regular tape to just really secure it down. You want a nice long tape for this. You're going to see why. I'm actually gonna tape it a little bit more down as well. Oh, very slippery. Okay, now, this is gonna look scary, but I promise you, it's going to be fine. This is very thick paper, especially because it's double-sided. Let me get some ribbon. Okay, we're gonna use this gold ribbon because it goes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna prep the ribbon first, just so it's ready. I'm just gonna take two, not equal, but just two reasonably sized ribbons. And now you are going to basically ring each end, okay? And you're gonna go towards the way, I guess, the paper is curling. You're not gonna go against it, you're gonna go with it. So first find the head, so it's right here. So you're just gonna grab it. And if you have thinner paper, just be a little bit more careful. So you're just gonna grab it. And you're going to ring it. And you don't have to try that hard because it will work fine. Now you're gonna take your ribbon, you're gonna tie, and then you're gonna tie again. I suggest double knotting it first, and then you can do a little cute bow. All right. Okay, and you're just gonna try and even this out a little bit. You're gonna do the same with the opposite end. So the cool thing about this is that you have to remember part of the gift is how you wrap it. And it's gotta be fun for kids too. So imagine you're giving this to a kid, they think that you're giving them a huge candy. But in fact, it's a plush. And this is actually a good way to wrap a plush because then they can just tear through it, rip it out, but there you have it. Giant candy cane. Candy.
So now I'm going to show you that same technique, but on a smaller, more stranger item. Don't know if that's a word, but that's what we're going with. So it's basically the same technique as you saw me do with the bigger one, except this might be a little bit easier because it's a harder gift as well as it's wrapped in plastic and it's not plush and it won't wrinkle the paper. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm going to apply double-sided tape to the gift itself since it's wrapped in plastic, and then I'm going to tape it to the end, and then I'm going to roll it over so that it just, you know, nice and snug, the way you saw me do with the plush doll. Yeah, it's a plush doll. And then I'm going to tape that together. I'm just gonna carefully uncurl my edges here, and then after we're gonna do our nice little twisting technique. And there you have it, the last gift. I hope this video was fun. I hope it was informative and entertaining. This looks super fun. I would love to get this if I was a kid. And I'd probably be disappointed that it wasn't in fact a big candy.
So that's it, guys. Thank you for tuning in to this program. I hope that my tips and tricks have helped you on your last minute gift wrapping adventures. And be sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a like, as well as leave a comment. Or if you've used one of my tips to gift wrap some really cool gifts, why don't you tag us at Hoboken Library on our Instagram. If you like this program, visit our website, www.hobokenlibrary.org, for more information and to visit our calendar at what programs are upcoming for the rest of December as well as January and February. You won't want to miss out.